You can always count on the Socialist Republic of Victoria to, of course, buck that trend. The Jacinta Allan government has today announced the annual Australia Parade will never return.
Yeah, the march was much loved, but it was cancelled by Dan Andrews back in 2020 when COVID made it too dangerous to celebrate Australia Day or sit on a park bench or drink a beer without removing your mask. The January 26 parade was meant to return each year, but now Labor have admitted they never had any intention of bringing it back.
No, I mean, Victoria is now one step closer, clearly, to erasing Australia Day altogether. They don't want to be part of the National Day. And look, I mean, this is the most un-Australian state in the country. I think you've given some fine examples of why that is. But this basically seeks to shame anyone in that state who actually loves this country, who is proud to be an Australian, who is proud of our values. I mean, and we can't be surprised. A couple of weeks back, Labor MP Daniel Molino on Shari Markson's program said that we're in a transition phase.
Yes.
Well, what on earth is a transition phase? The other thing is, and this is what the Victorian government's also done, it's quietly washed its hand of the long-running goodwill-generating Victorian Australia Day Ambassadors program. Now, this was basically featuring inspiring members of the community. So, in other words, if you have contributed to the Victorian community and you do deserve an accolade and honour on that Australia Day, guess what? You won't be getting it because wiping hands, washing it, it doesn't exist. Again, James, we've got to stop tiptoeing around these issues.
What I hate is the absolute cowardice here because it's death by 1,000 cuts, right? So Anthony Albanese, on the one hand, pretends to endorse Australia Day while telling local councils, you feel free to run your citizenship ceremonies anytime you like. Doesn't have to be Australia Day. Wink. The Victorian government said from the Premier's office, we recognise January 26 means different things to different people. That's not leadership. You either have Australia Day and everyone participates, or you don't have Australia Day. I just wish the opponents would have the courage of their convictions to come out and say, we don't believe in Australia Day. We think Australia is illegitimate and therefore we don't want to celebrate it. But instead we've got leaders who, as I said, it's this death by 1,000 cuts, a little bit here, a little bit there, and all they do is create more and more disharmony and send mixed signals. I tell you who is supportive of this decision not to have the Australia Day Parade is the First People's Assembly of Victoria, who are negotiating with the state government on treaty. They said this is a very good decision not to have the Australia Day Parade, which tells you everything you need to know about where treaty is going to go.
But it's this tiptoeing around the issue, James, right? It's tiptoeing as to not offend. No, come out and be honest. If you don't want Australia Day, be upfront and tell us and be honest. But you know what? There's so many of us out there who are proud Australians. I'm a proud Australian. I know you are a proud Australian, as are our viewers, and we should never feel ashamed of having that passion for our country.
Yeah, and the referendum showed us that 60% or better of Australians are sick to death of this division. Yeah. We just want to be one, as the anthem was changed to say. Yeah.